Welcome back, listeners. In this segment, we dive into the shadowy world of Nazi Germany during the height of World War II. Picture a nation on the brink, desperate for any edge in a losing war. This is the world before, the eerie prelude to one of history's greatest enigmas. It's 1943, and the air in Berlin hangs heavy with the scent of smoke and defeat. The Allied bombs rain down nightly, turning grand boulevards into craters of rubble. Adolf Hitler, his once unshakable regime crumbling, clings to a feverish dream, the Wunderwaffe. These wonder weapons, miraculous technologies promising to turn the tide of war. Scientists, engineers, and enslaved laborers toil in secrecy, their lives bound to the Führer's obsessions. Whispers of jet fighters, V-2 rockets, and even more outlandish inventions echo through fortified bunkers. But amid this chaos, a project emerges in the remote Silesian mountains of occupied Poland, a place where the fog never lifts and the wind howls like a warning. Here, in the shadow of the Owl Mountains, lies the Wenceslaus Mine. Once a humble source of coal, it's now transformed into something far more sinister. Deep underground, tunnels snake for miles, carved by prisoners whose emaciated forms blend with the darkness. The air is thick with dust, the metallic tang of machinery, and the acrid sweat of desperation. Guards in crisp SS uniforms patrol with rifles slung low, their boots echoing against damp stone walls. Above ground, the landscape is a fortress of isolation. Pine forests cloak the hills, their needles whispering secrets to the cold breeze. Snow falls early here, blanketing the earth in a deceptive purity that hides the horrors below. This is the heart of Project Riese, giant in German, a colossal network of underground complexes designed to house factories, laboratories, and perhaps Hitler's last redoubt. Der Riese, the crown jewel, sprawls beneath the peak, its vast halls echoing with the clamor of construction. Imagine the scene, floodlights piercing the gloom, casting long shadows on concrete reinforcements hastily poured. Engineers in white coats huddle over blueprints, their faces gaunt from sleep deprivation and the ever-present fear of failure. For in Nazi Germany, innovation is not just encouraged, it's demanded under penalty of death. The psychological pressure is immense. Soldiers, battle-hardened from the Eastern Front, stand watch with hollow eyes, knowing the war's end draws near. Espionage lurks everywhere. Allied spies infiltrate supply lines, while internal betrayals could mean a firing squad at dawn. The obsession with secrecy breeds paranoia. Every shadow could conceal a traitor. As 1944 dawns, the urgency intensifies. The D-Day landings shake the regime, and resources pour into these hidden lairs. Trucks rumble through muddy paths, delivering crates stamped with SS runes, contents unknown, but rumored to include experimental alloys, radioactive materials, and prototypes that defy conventional science. Scientists like Wernher von Braun, architect of the V2, consult on rocketry, but whispers speak of even wilder ambitions: anti-gravity devices, energy weapons, or something called Die Glocke, the bell, a machine said to bend time itself. The atmosphere is one of grim determination mixed with madness. In the flickering light of acetylene lamps, workers cough from silicosis, their hammers striking ceaselessly. The ground trembles from distant explosions, not bombs, but controlled blasts expanding the labyrinth. Emotions run high: fear of Allied advance, hope in technological salvation, and a pervasive dread that these wonders might unleash forces beyond control. Prisoners, drawn from concentration camps, labor in chains, their whispers of rebellion silenced by whips. Officers bark orders in guttural German, their voices echoing like thunder in the caverns. This is the world before the mystery unfolds, a cauldron of innovation and atrocity, where the line between genius and horror blurs in the depths of Der Riese. Welcome back, listeners. We've set the stage in the shadowy depths of wartime Germany, where desperation fueled invention. Now, let's dive into the heart of the mystery, the incident itself. What really happened at the Wenceslaus Mine? Was it a breakthrough or a brush with the unknown? Stay with us as we uncover the alleged beginnings of Die Glocke. In the fog-shrouded valleys of Lower Silesia, near the forgotten town of Ludwikowitz, something sinister was taking shape. It was late 1943, and the Nazis, their empire crumbling under Allied bombs, turned to desperate measures. Whispers spread among the forced laborers at the Wenceslaus Mine, rumors of a secret project, code-named Kronos. Deep in the woods, away from prying eyes, engineers and scientists toiled under the watchful gaze of SS officers. They constructed what would become known as the Henge, a massive concrete ring resembling an ancient stone circle, but forged from modern malice. Picture it: 12 sturdy pillars, each 10 feet tall, rising from a circular base 30 meters across. Chains dangled from overhead beams, ready to hoist something extraordinary. The air was thick with the scent of wet earth and diesel fumes, the ground scarred by truck treads and the footprints of exhausted workers. Dread hung over the site like the perpetual mist, for those who built it knew little of its purpose, only that failure meant death. As winter's chill deepened, the structure was complete, its gray form blending into the bleak landscape, a monument to forbidden knowledge. The device itself arrived under cover of night. Die Glocke, the bell. Shrouded in tarps, it was bell-shaped, gleaming with a metallic sheen, about 3 meters wide and 4 tall. Inside, counter-rotating cylinders filled with a mysterious violet-hued liquid called Xerum 525. Scientists, led by enigmatic figures like SS General Hans Kammler, prepared for the first test. Imagine the scene at dawn. The henge, silent, frost clinging to the concrete. Technicians in white coats huddled around control panels, their breaths visible in the cold air. Guards patrolled the perimeter, rifles slung, eyes sharp for any sabotage. The procedure began methodically, minute by minute. At 0 hour, power hummed through thick cables snaking from generators hidden in the mine. Switches flipped. A low rumble echoed like distant thunder. The bell was lowered into place, suspended by chains at the center of the ring. 1 minute in, injectors whirred, pumping Xerum 525 into the cylinders. The liquid swirled, glowing faintly under inspection lights. 2 minutes. Rotation initiated, clockwise, then counter, building speed. The air grew heavy, charged with static, hairs standing on end. 3 minutes. A violet light began to emanate from the bell, not bright, but pervasive, casting eerie shadows on the pillars. It pulsed, slowly at first, like a heartbeat awakening from slumber. Chilling, isn't it? The first sparks of something unimaginable, flickering to life in that forgotten corner of the world. But this was just the beginning. What happens when the tests escalate and the true horrors unfold? Join us in the next segment as we explore the escalation of the event, where the line between science and the supernatural blurs even further. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back, listeners. What started as a secretive Nazi experiment at Der Riese was about to spiral into something far more terrifying. Whispers of high strangeness began to echo through the halls, radiation that defied explanation, deaths that couldn't be rationalized, and phenomena that blurred the line between science and the supernatural. Hold on tight, because the chaos is just beginning. In the dim, cavernous depths of the Der Riese facility, hidden beneath the Owl Mountains, the air grew thick with an unnatural hum. It wasn't just the machinery, it was something alive, pulsating, as if the very walls were breathing. Following the initial tests of the enigmatic device known as Die Glocke, the bell-shaped contraption that promised to bend the laws of physics, the aftermath unfolded like a nightmare. Scientists and workers reported strange radiation effects, skin that blistered without heat, eyes that burned from invisible flames. One engineer described how his hands tingled with an electric fire, as if tiny lightning bolts danced beneath his flesh. But it wasn't ordinary radiation. No, this was something otherworldly, defying Geiger counters and leaving behind residues that glowed with an eerie, pulsating light in the dead of night. Secrecy clamped down harder than ever. SS officers patrolled the perimeters, their boots echoing like thunder in the tunnels, silencing any who dared speak of the anomalies. Contested reports leaked out, scribbled notes smuggled by desperate souls, claiming visions of floating orbs, time distortions where hours vanished in seconds. One account detailed a test where the bell's rotation caused the room to warp, walls bending like rubber, and a scientist aging decades in minutes. Tension boiled between witnesses and the enforcers, shouted arguments in the mess halls, furtive glances over shoulders. Those who pushed back disappeared, their fates shrouded in the growing fog of confusion. The facility became a pressure cooker of paranoia, where every creak could be a malfunctioning device, or something far worse lurking in the ether. As the war raged on, the high strangeness escalated into chaos. Explosions rocked the mountains, not from Allied bombs, but from within, as if the bell itself rebelled against its creators. Villagers in nearby towns spoke of ghostly figures in the mist, screams echoing from the hills at unnatural hours. Mounting fear twisted into madness. Some workers fled into the forests, babbling about portals to other dimensions, while others clung to denial, burying the dead in secret graves. The line between reality and hallucination blurred, leaving a trail of contested truths that would haunt history. In this vortex of terror, questions arose. Was Die Glocke a weapon or a gateway to the unknown?
The shadows of Der Riese grow longer, don't they? From strange radiations to unexplained deaths, the mystery deepens into outright chaos. But who were the minds behind this madness? Stay with us as we uncover the key figures involved in the next segment. Welcome back, listeners. We've traced the escalation of events surrounding Die Glocke, that enigmatic Nazi wonder weapon shrouded in myth and shadow. But every legend has its architects, the men who unearthed, amplified, and perhaps even fabricated its secrets. Today, we delve into the lives of these key figures. The journalist who first whispered its name, the author who broadcast it to the world, the SS officer whose chilling testimony fueled the fire, and the shadowy general who may have overseen it all. Join us as we uncover the players behind the puzzle.
Picture a dimly lit archive room in post-Cold War Poland. The air thick with the musty scent of forgotten documents, yellowed pages whispering secrets from a bygone era of horror. This is where Igor Witkowski, a tenacious Polish journalist and military historian, steps into the spotlight. Born in the shadow of World War II's scars, Witkowski grew up fascinated by the untold stories of Nazi engineering feats, bridges, rockets, and the darker experiments hidden in bunkers. In the late 1990s, while poring over declassified files from Polish intelligence, he claims to have stumbled upon references to Die Glocke, a bell-shaped device that defied gravity, powered by a mysterious red mercury substance. His motivations? A relentless pursuit of truth, or perhaps the thrill of uncovering what the victors buried. Witkowski's book, The Truth About the Wunderwaffe, ignited the spark, painting Die Glocke not just as a weapon, but as a gateway to forbidden science. Yet, doubts linger. Was it genuine discovery, or a clever weave of half-truths in the fog of history? His words echo like a distant tolling bell, drawing seekers into the mystery. Now, shift the scene to the bustling newsrooms of London, where the hum of typewriters gives way to the click of keyboards. Enter Nick Cook, a respected aviation journalist for Jane's Defense Weekly, his days filled with the roar of jet engines and the intrigue of cutting-edge technology. Driven by a journalist's curiosity and a personal quest to understand anti-gravity research, Cook encountered Witkowski's claims in 2000. What began as skepticism evolved into obsession. Nights spent chasing leads across Europe, the chill of abandoned Nazi sites seeping into his bones. His book, The Hunt for 0 Point, catapulted Die Glocke into international lore, blending hard facts with speculative wonder. Cook's role, the amplifier, the storyteller who transformed obscure Polish whispers into a global enigma. But beneath his polished prose lies a tension, the journalist's duty to report versus the allure of the unknown. Did he popularize a myth or unveil a suppressed reality? His narrative pulls you in, like gravity itself, inescapable and profound. Deeper into the darkness we go, to the war-torn fields of occupied Poland, where the stench of fear and gunpowder hangs heavy. Jakob Sporenberg, a high-ranking SS officer, emerges from the shadows, a man whose life was a tapestry of loyalty to the Reich and post-war desperation. Captured by the Allies in 1945, Sporenberg allegedly provided a chilling affidavit during his war crimes trial, describing Die Glocke as a deadly experiment that killed scientists in horrifying ways, their bodies liquefied by unknown forces. Motivations swirl like smoke. Was it a bid for leniency, a fabricated tale to appease interrogators, or a genuine confession from a haunted soul? Executed in 1952, his words survive only through Witkowski's interpretations, disputed and debated. Sporenberg's disputed testimony adds the visceral horror to the legend, the screams of the doomed echoing in underground labs, a cover-up sealed with blood. He shapes Die Glocke not as mere machinery, but as a monster born of human ambition and atrocity. Finally, envision the opulent halls of Nazi high command, polished boots echoing on marble floors amid the flicker of candlelight and the weight of impending doom. Hans Kammler, the enigmatic SS Obergruppenführer, looms large, an engineer turned architect of terror, overseeing concentration camps and secret weapons programs. Linked to V-2 rockets and underground factories, Kammler's name whispers through Die Glocke tales as the possible mastermind, vanishing in 1945 amid rumors of suicide, defection, or escape to hidden bases. His motivations? Power, innovation, survival in a crumbling empire. Kammler's shadowy presence infuses the legend with intrigue. A ghost in the machine, his disappearance fueling conspiracies of UFOs and lost tech. What secrets did he take to his grave? Or did he? The air grows colder as we ponder, the weight of history pressing down like an unseen force.
Welcome back to Unexplained History. We've just explored the shadowy figures behind the Die Glocke legend, the scientists, the officers, the whispers of forbidden knowledge. But what happens when myth meets the cold light of official scrutiny? In this segment, we turn to the investigations, or lack thereof, that sought to uncover the truth about this alleged Nazi wonder weapon. Picture dusty archives, stern-faced investigators poring over faded documents, the air thick with the scent of aged paper and unspoken doubts. Let's dive into the official report, or what passes for one in this enigmatic tale.
The story of Die Glocke, that bell-shaped enigma of Nazi ingenuity, hangs on threads of testimony and rumor. But when the war ended, Allied forces didn't just pack up and go home. They launched methodical hunts for the Reich's secret technologies. Operation Paperclip swept up German scientists, their blueprints, and their prototypes. Yet Die Glocke remained elusive, a ghost in the machine of history. Imagine the scene. American and British intelligence officers, clad in crisp uniforms, combing through bombed-out labs in the ruins of Europe. The air is heavy with the acrid smell of smoke and defeat. Files scattered like fallen leaves. Official war crimes records, preserved in the vaults of Nuremberg, make no mention of a device called Die Glocke. The trials focused on atrocities, gas chambers, forced labor, but not on anti-gravity bells or time-bending experiments. It's as if the project, if it existed, was buried deeper than the prosecutors could dig. Then there's the Sporenberg Affidavit, the cornerstone of the legend. Jakob Sporenberg, an SS general, stood trial in Poland in 1946 for war crimes unrelated to Die Glocke. But in a later statement, allegedly given under duress, or perhaps in a bid for leniency, he described overseeing a project where scientists died mysteriously, their bodies liquefied by some unknown force. He spoke of executions to silence witnesses, 62 souls erased in a forest clearing, the ground stained with blood under a gray sky. The affidavit surfaced years later, its credibility questioned by historians. Was it coerced? Fabricated? Polish courts documented his trial meticulously, but the Die Glocke details feel tacked on, like an afterthought in a procedural ledger.
And there you have it, the official investigations into Die Glocke, a procedural maze that leads nowhere definitive. We've sifted through the affidavits, the archives, and the absences, Yet the mystery persists. But not everyone buys into the legend. Up next, we explore the skeptical theories that aim to debunk it all. Stay tuned as we separate fact from fiction in Unexplained History. Welcome back, listeners. We've just delved into the shadowy details of the Die Glocke investigation. Those tantalizing whispers of Nazi superweapons hidden in forgotten mines. But now, it's time to turn a critical eye. What if all this is just smoke and mirrors? Join us as we dissect the myth through the rational lens. This is the rational eye.
Imagine a dimly lit archive room, stacks of yellowed documents towering like forgotten sentinels. Dust motes dance in the beam of a single lamp as a historian pores over faded transcripts. This is the battleground where myths collide with facts. Die Glocke, the infamous Nazi bell, has captivated conspiracy theorists for decades. But when we apply the sharp blade of skepticism, the legend begins to unravel. Let's start with the sources, the very foundation of this tale. Much of what we know about Die Glocke stems from Igor Witkowski, a Polish author who claimed to have seen classified interrogation transcripts of SS General Jakob Sporenberg. According to Witkowski, Sporenberg described a bell-shaped device that defied gravity, powered by something called Xerum 525, a red mercury-like substance. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? But here's the problem. Those transcripts have never been independently verified. Historians have scoured Polish archives, and what do they find? Nothing. No original documents, no corroborating evidence. Witkowski's claims rely on his word alone, and even he admits he only saw copies, not originals. It's like building a castle on sand. One wave of scrutiny, and it crumbles. Now, let's turn to the testimonies that fuel this fire. Witnesses like local villagers near the Wenceslaus Mine speak of strange lights and humming sounds. But picture this: post-war Europe, a landscape scarred by bombs and secrets. Memories fade, stories morph. These accounts emerged years, sometimes decades, after the fact. Psychological studies show how eyewitness testimony can be unreliable, influenced by suggestion, time, and even popular media. And here's a sharp point. Many of these tales surfaced after books and documentaries popularized the myth. It's a classic case of confirmation bias, where people retrofit their memories to fit the narrative. Historians dismiss Die Glocke because it lacks the bedrock of reliable sourcing. No Nazi blueprints, no wartime memos, no physical remnants beyond ambiguous concrete structures that could easily be remnants of mundane mining operations or even a cooling tower for a power plant. The flytrap structure at Ludwikowitz? Experts say it's just that, a cooling tower, not a test rig for anti-gravity experiments. The absence of evidence is not evidence of a cover-up. It's evidence of absence. But skepticism doesn't stop at history. It extends to science. Envision a physicist in a sterile lab, equations scrawled across a whiteboard, shaking their head in disbelief. The core claims of Die Glocke, anti-gravity propulsion, plasma vortexes, even time manipulation, defy known physics. Let's break it down. Anti-gravity, as described, would require manipulating gravitational fields on a scale we can't achieve today, let alone with 1940s technology. The device allegedly spun counter-rotating cylinders filled with a mercury-like fluid to create a torsion field. Sounds sci-fi, right? But in reality, torsion fields in physics refer to something entirely different. A hypothetical in general relativity, not a shortcut to levitation. Experiments with rotating superconductors, like those in modern labs, produce minuscule effects, nothing like lifting a bell-shaped craft. Then, there's the plasma effects. Witnesses claim the device emitted a blue glow and killed plants and animals nearby. Sharp analysis reveals this mirrors descriptions of high-voltage experiments or even nuclear tests. But Die Glocke wasn't nuclear. Plasma requires immense energy, and the supposed power source? Electricity from a nearby plant. Hardly enough for such feats without melting the device itself. Physicists point out the energy requirements would violate conservation laws. Red mercury, that mythical substance? It's a well-known hoax, peddled in black markets as a scam for would-be bomb makers. No credible scientist has ever confirmed its existence.
There you have it, a piercing, skeptical takedown of Die Glocke. But what if there's more to it? What if the paranormal fills the gaps that science leaves behind? Stay tuned as we explore the otherworldly theories next. This is Unexplained History, where facts meet the fantastic. We've just heard the skeptical side, dismissing Die Glocke as nothing more than myth and exaggeration. But what if there's more to it? What if the shadows of history hide something truly extraordinary? Let's step into the unknown, where believers see not just a weapon, but a gateway to the impossible.
Imagine the dim, echoing chambers beneath the Owl Mountains, where the air hangs heavy with the scent of ozone and something metallic. This is the realm of Die Glocke, the bell, a device shrouded in whispers of the paranormal. For those who believe, it's not mere folklore. It's a testament to Nazi ingenuity pushing the boundaries of reality itself. Picture it, a massive bell-shaped contraption, perhaps 10 feet tall, forged from unknown alloys that hummed with an otherworldly energy. Believers argue it was no ordinary machine, but an anti-gravity engine, defying the laws of physics as we know them. They point to accounts of strange lights in the sky, levitating objects, and a low, resonant drone that could shake the very earth. At the heart of this enigma lies Xerum 525, a substance as mysterious as it is deadly. Described as a reddish, mercury-like liquid, it swirled within the bell's core, fueled by high-voltage electricity. Witnesses, or so the stories go, spoke of plasma effects, glowing auras that danced like captive lightning. When activated, Die Glocke reportedly created fields of anti-gravity, lifting itself and nearby objects into the air effortlessly. Some even whisper of time dilation, moments stretching into eternity, or portals to other dimensions. The eerie glow, the unnatural silence broken only by a pulsating hum. It evokes a sense of stepping into the forbidden, where science meets the supernatural. But this pursuit of the impossible came at a horrific cost. Tales abound of mysterious deaths, scientists, and forced laborers exposed to the bell's radiation, their bodies deteriorating in ways no known science could explain. Skin turning to jelly, organs failing amid agonizing screams. Radiation poisoning, perhaps, but believers see something more sinister, an energy that warped life itself. Why do these stories captivate us? Because they hint at truths buried by victors of war. Open-minded researchers pore over declassified documents, connecting Die Glocke to post-war UFO sightings, suggesting the technology was spirited away, seeding modern mysteries. In the chill of those underground labs, one feels the weight of the unknown, a siren call to those who dare believe. The atmosphere clings like fog, flickering shadows on concrete walls, the faint echo of footsteps long silenced. Believers remain steadfast, arguing that skepticism ignores the patterns, the unexplained phenomena that echo Die Glocke's alleged powers. Anti-gravity experiments, plasma vortices, the lethal embrace of unseen forces. It's a narrative that blurs history and myth, drawing us into a web of what-ifs. Perhaps the bell's true legacy is this enduring fascination, a reminder that some doors, once opened, can never fully close.
Whether fact or fantasy, the believer's view leaves us pondering the edges of possibility. But Die Glocke's story doesn't end here. Up next, we explore its cultural legacy, how this enigma has shaped books, films, and our collective imagination. Stay with us. As the shadows of World War II fade into history, some stories refuse to die. They linger, morphing into legends that captivate the imagination. Today, we reflect on the enduring legacy of Die Glocke, the Nazi bell that still rings in the halls of conspiracy and myth. Join us as we explore how this enigma has woven itself into the fabric of modern culture.
Imagine a world where the echoes of a forgotten war machine reverberate through time, not in dusty archives, but in the flickering glow of computer screens and the hushed whispers of late-night discussions. Die Glocke, that mysterious bell-shaped device shrouded in Nazi secrecy, has transcended its wartime origins to become a cornerstone of conspiracy lore. It persists, not as proven fact, but as a tantalizing what-if that fuels endless debate. In the dim-lit corners of internet forums, Enthusiasts gather like modern-day alchemists, piecing together fragments of testimony and blurred photographs. They speak of anti-gravity propulsion, of time-bending experiments that could have altered history's course. The air thickens with speculation, the scent of old paper and electric anticipation hanging heavy. You can almost hear the low hum of the bell itself vibrating through the digital ether. Documentaries have seized upon this myth, their narrators intoning gravely over grainy reenactments. Shows like Ancient Aliens or Nazi UFOs dissect the tale with dramatic flair, blending half-truths and wild theories into a compelling narrative. Viewers sit transfixed, hearts pounding, as CGI renderings of the bell spin in ethereal light, promising secrets that mainstream history dares not reveal. At the heart of this cultural phenomenon stands Nick Cook, the aviation journalist whose book, The Hunt for 0 Point, catapulted Die Glocke into English-speaking consciousness. Picture him in a quiet study, surrounded by stacks of declassified documents, his pen scratching furiously as he connects dots from Polish researcher Igor Witkowski's initial claims. Cook's work, published in 2001, wasn't just reportage, it was a bridge carrying the bell's legend across linguistic and cultural divides. Suddenly, what was once an obscure Eastern European whisper became a global roar. Readers felt the chill of discovery, the thrill of uncovering hidden truths amid the ruins of the Third Reich. This penetration into pop culture is profound. Die Glocke influences speculative fiction, appearing in novels where heroes battle shadowy cabals wielding forbidden tech. Video games like Wolfenstein echo its Wunderwaffe mystique, players navigating labyrinths filled with glowing artifacts that defy physics. Even in films, subtle nods to Nazi superweapons evoke that same sense of forbidden knowledge, a dark allure that tingles the spine. The enduring fascination with Nazi Wunderwaffe myths runs deep, rooted in the horror and hubris of that era. It's a reflection of our collective psyche, a blend of fear and wonder at what humans might achieve when unbound by ethics. Die Glocke embodies this, a symbol of technological hubris that could unlock the stars or unravel reality itself. In modern paranormal lore, it intertwines with UFO sightings and secret government projects, suggesting that the bell's secrets didn't die with the war. Perhaps they were spirited away, hidden in remote bases where the air shimmers with unnatural energy. Conspiracy circles buzz with tales of reverse-engineered tech, of glowing orbs in the night sky that trace back to that fateful device. The atmosphere is one of quiet paranoia, eyes darting to shadows where government agents might lurk. Yet, amid the speculation, there's a poignant reflection. Die Glocke reminds us of history's unhealed wounds, the lingering questions about what horrors were wrought in the name of progress. It persists because it taps into our innate curiosity, our desire to believe that the world holds more than meets the eye.
The legacy of Die Glocke shows us how myths can outlive empires, shaping our stories and suspicions long after the facts fade. But As we ponder its place in culture, it's time to draw this tale to a close. Up next, we wrap up our investigation with some final thoughts on this enduring mystery. As we wrap up this journey into the shadows of history, let's pause and reflect on what we've uncovered. The whispers of secret technologies that could change everything, or perhaps nothing at all. Join me in these final thoughts.
In the dim corridors of unexplained history, we find ourselves caught between two worlds. On one side, tantalizing glimpses of secret technologies, devices whispered about in classified documents, shadows of inventions that defy our understanding of physics and possibility. Imagine the air thick with the hum of hidden engines, the faint glow of unexplained lights piercing the night sky. Artifacts that hint at advancements buried deep within government vaults, away from prying eyes. These are the stories that ignite our imagination, fueling dreams of anti-gravity drives, energy weapons, or portals to other dimensions. Yet, against this allure stands the stark wall of lacking proof. No concrete evidence emerges from the fog, only blurred photographs, redacted files, and testimonies that crumble under scrutiny. Scholars dismiss them as fabrications, the products of overactive minds or deliberate misinformation. The chilling rumors persist, though. Tales of black projects funded in secrecy, experiments that blur the line between science and the supernatural, whispers of crashes in remote deserts, recovered craft that vanish into military bases, leaving only echoes of conspiracy in their wake.
That concludes our investigation into this mystery. I'm Tom Mackenzie. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave us a review. And remember to visit unexplained.co for the photos we discussed today. Until next time, keep looking for the truth.